Welcome to CNN10. We are 10 minutes of news explained, and I'm your host, Carl Azus. News was breaking as we put this show together. A number of suspicious packages caused alarm and evacuations Wednesday, and a major government effort to find out who's responsible. The people they were addressed to included former U.S. President Barack Obama, 2016 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, former Attorney General Eric Holder, former CIA Director John Brennan, and California Democratic Representative Maxine Waters. The package labeled for former CIA Director Brennan was sent to CNN at New York City's Time Warner Center. That led to the evacuation of CNN's New York bureau. Several of the packages had the same return address, the Florida office of Democratic U.S. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That return address was also on a package delivered to the home of George Soros earlier this week. He's a billionaire investor and major donor to the Democratic Party. Officials do not suspect that Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz sent the packages. Devices found inside several of the packages appeared to be pipe bombs. That's according to an FBI counterterrorism agent in New York. Law enforcement officials say it looks like they were made in the same way. All of them were intercepted before any of the people they were addressed to could open them. No one was hurt. In the past, President Donald Trump has criticized several of the people the packages were addressed to. But on Wednesday, he said that threats or acts of political violence had no place in America. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio called the mailings an act of terror, and the FBI is asking anyone who might have information on those responsible to contact them. Next, this Thursday, we've reported on the rising tensions between Russia and the allies of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which the U.S. is part of. The commander of the U.S. naval forces in Europe says one thing that concerns him when it comes to Russia is submarine warfare. Why? For one thing, he says 6 of the Russian subs operating in the Black Sea or the Eastern Mediterranean Sea have a type of missile that could reach any of the capitals of Europe. That's likely to be on the minds of other NATO commanders as they begin their largest military exercise since 2002. It's called Operation Trident Juncture. It launches Thursday in Norway and the region around it. CNN's Fred Pleitgen is in Iceland to report on what's taking place both on and under the surface.
The Yuri Dolgoruki nuclear submarine, one of Russia's newest, on the prowl. Test-firing intercontinental ballistic missiles from under the sea, putting America and its allies on notice.
They're letting us know that they're out there. They're operating in much greater numbers in places that they have not operated before.
As tensions between the U.S. and Russia rise, America says it's not overly concerned about Vladimir Putin's fleet of warships, but that the stealthy and powerful subs pose a serious threat to American and allied navies, supply lines, and even ports. America is reacting, sending its most advanced P-8 anti-submarine planes to the northern Atlantic region and spending $34 million upgrading this base in Iceland, where CNN was given exclusive access.
The ocean is big. It's a chess match between the sub-commander and all the ASW assets that are trying to find them.
Submarines are now one of the centerpieces of Russia's Navy, the U.S. says, like the massive Oscar class, nicknamed the Carrier Killer because its mission is destroying U.S. aircraft carriers. And the modernized Kilo class, now capable of carrying cruise missiles. CNN was on hand when Kilos launched several off the coast of Syria, hitting ISIS targets hundreds of miles away. A threat America has to respect and react to, the U.S. top naval commander for Europe and Africa tells CNN.
Where we can no longer take for granted that we can sail with impunity in all of the oceans, whether it be the North Atlantic, the Baltic, the Black Sea, the Mediterranean, or the Arctic Ocean.
The U.S. says it won't be intimidated by Russia's resurgent submarine fleet, but it is rallying allies to get serious about countering Moscow's underwater moves. Fred Pleitgen, CNN, Reykjavik, Iceland.
10-second trivia. What is the correct pronunciation of this word? Is it A, Shad and Frued, B, Shad and Frueda, C, Shad and Frewed, or D, Schnad and Frueda? The answer is B, Shad and Frueda, a German term for when someone laughs at the misfortune of someone else. There's a news term called a prono, as in, can I get a prono on this? Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Susio Bambang Yudhoyono, Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Apu Aa. Those are some of the terms I've needed a prono for. But there's one man, at least, who probably doesn't need to practice as much as I do to say these words on air.